Oh, namaste, friends. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And pardon my hat. It's just a little bit bright this morning, and I'm super excited to be back outside, back in New Orleans, teaching yoga and sharing this wonderful gift with all of you. I'm going to remove my hat in just a second. And this morning, we are working on chair yoga as well as we're beginning the journey of the root chakra. And so we begin with getting into a nice comfortable seat. So I'm going to ask you to please gather what you need. If you need to, please gather a blanket. I've actually got my jacket rolled up behind me, kind of as a little support for a pillow to put underneath me if I need to. I also have my blanket behind me. And of course, your yoga mat, a sticky mat, so you can put your chair on top of that sticky mat so as to not move around too much. You don't want your chair to slip on you, especially if you're using it for balance and stability. Okay. It's also a really great tool to help us really root and ground. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take your shoes off. I'm taking mine off. And if you want to take your socks off, you can. If you're outside and it's chilly, you can keep your socks on. It just kind of depends on you. And then you might decide you want to get a strap if that's for you too. I would always encourage a strap. Good. Mm-hmm. And then once you're ready, now go ahead and get grounded. Nice. Nice. And so the root chakra is the chakra of grounding, stability, and it's our foundation. It is the space where we feel the most connected to source because we're connecting to the earth, to the ground. And so in the root chakra, if we find that it's deficient, it's probably because we are stressed out over finances, economic stability, educational stability, anything that's going on that you feel uncertain. A lot of uncertainty comes in the space. So this is where you might find the victim is also excessive in the space, the victim mentality. So it's really finding a way to reconnect and reground back into the earth, back into consciousness, back into that space. So I invite you to let your feet touch the ground. I encourage you to take the shoes off, but if that's not something you choose to do today, I completely understand. Good. And then let's go ahead and open up the toes, spread them nice and wide. Learn to disengage from everything else, Make sure that I can see you, you guys can see me. Right on. Now we can see each other. Good. Connecting here into this long spine as you press the tailbone down into the chair and lengthen and feel the spine beginning to stretch up towards the sky. We begin with pranayama, breath work, affirming. We awaken ourselves into alignment where we root. This is the foundational chakra, the rooting, the growing, the knowing. In our new spot, we've been blessed with a brand new tree. This tree is beginning to spread its roots down into the earth soil. And visualize your spinal column from the crown to the root. At the very bottom, right where your tailbone is, visualize that last part of your spine, the little tail portion, rooting down into the chair and then beginning to create a web of energy stretching out along the chair, down through the roots of the chair, even down through the roots of your legs and into the earth. And then begin to spread the toes and allow the toes to manifest that same quality of roots spreading and reaching reaching out to each other here, reaching out to your community and to the world around you. Reaching out to your economic stability, your financial stability, your wellness stability, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual stability, and finding the alignment, if any. You're in Shavasana, our first pose this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are today, and relaxing through this experience. Great rising. Good morning. Inhaling and exhaling deeply, honoring this day, honoring this time, the gift, the blessing. Take a moment to root yourself into oneness. Close the eyes and let yourself go 10% more deeper. The mantra is Lam. Inhale for Lam. Lam. Inhale deeply. Lam. And make a few neck rolls. I invite you to offer an intention, if any, today. Intention of alignment, intention of rooting, grounding. Coming back to center, let the hands come down to the sides of the chair. I'm going to catty corner turn myself here towards you all. And we're going to point and flex the feet. Now you have the option to do one at a time, point and flex. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can point and flex both. Okay? And just take your time here. I really want you to breathe into each inhale and exhale, each point and flex. Keep active, long spine. Draw the tummy in on the exhale, really lacing the ribs together. You might decide to even draw the knee in towards the chest for a moment or two, and then release it nice and long. And the knee comes in. And as we exhale, point and flex, and just notice what it feels like for you today, darling. Notice if it feels okay to point and flex the foot, or if it just feels fine to flex the foot. Maybe it's just a bending and extending. It's fine. Or maybe it's not that high, and maybe you're using a block and propping your foot up there and pointing and flexing your foot. So really adapting, giving yourself that freedom to adapt and modify and adjust the pose is needed. Okay. And let's also be switching to the other side. So we're balancing out both sides, friends. Point and flex, point and flex. And it's really nice to take this practice outside with you. So the next time that you watch this video, Maybe take the video outside with you with your phone and find a space to root your feet into the earth. I really enjoy my toes touching the leaves of the trees and kind of just feeling the dirt under the toes. It feels really sweet to really connect to this energy. This is where we till the soil of our soul. This is where we plant the seeds that we wish to nourish, which we'll do tomorrow. So let's just do that 1 or 2 more times now, y'all. And we're going to eventually just make sure to hug your knee into your chest at some point. Take a moment there. And this is a really sweet time to lengthen once more, realign, maybe scoop the pubic bone forward. So I want you to visualize the very bottom of your tailbone like a little scared puppy who tucks his tail between his legs. You know, like he knows he went potty, he knows he did wrong somewhere in your house, right? And they hide their little tail. And so kind of come into that little tail tuck and then lengthen up and then open those big, beautiful puppy dog eyes. Look up towards the sky. And then exhale. Let's let everything go. Release the knee down and just go ahead and take the other knee in towards your chest and scoop under once more. Little naughty puppy dog tail, right? And then lifting up with puppy dog eyes, we look up, embracing this cloudless sky, or maybe your ceiling becomes the universe or open spaciousness, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And just taking in the warmth of the sun, the warmth of the light around you. And breathing into Lam. Lam. Seeing the color red, orange maybe. And then exhale, release that down, maybe even keeping the eyes closed, feet hip distance apart, shoulders over hips, hands at the knees, round the spine. Just let that go for a little bit. And then lift up towards the chest and roll it out. And exhale, round down. Bring your chin towards your chest. Super scooper down here, all right? Super scooper. We're rounding, creating the C shape. Bring the chin towards your chest, maybe even a little bit lower. Really get lazy through the upper body. Really drape the body down. Relax here. And then inhale, roll yourself all the way up. Open up your chest, big and bright, and then take the hands down to the sides of the chair. Or if you have arms of the chair, awesome, even better. We're going to add a little bit of intensity here. So we're going to actually come into a bridge pose, lifting up and then coming back down to our seat. Now, for some of us, that might be a little bit strenuous. So I'll just encourage you to just maybe work on lifting up. So the action of pulling yourself up off of your seat and then giving yourself that permission to come back down and really focus on the tummy. On the inhale, really expanding, really puffing up, and then on the exhale, contracting and pulling everything in, right? And everyone else, make sure your feet are hip distance apart because that's really important to keep everything squared. With a nice square foundation, you're able to rise up. All right, so push down to root up, open up the chest, reverse table or reverse bridge. We inhale to rise and lift, look up. On the exhale, bend the elbows, pull the navel in and come down to the seat, back to neutral spine, shoulders over hips. Next breath, we rise up, lift up, open up the heart space, root into those toes, root into the hands. Exhale, we pull ourselves back down. It's very warming. You would think it's 43 degrees today, and it feels like it's 80. I'm sweating. Lift up. And exhale. It's kind of fun. I love that we can practice like this together no matter where we are. It's a different temperature somewhere. And that's the beauty that we can just root into that, root into the space of that we are all one through this virtual platform. We are able to connect. Isn't that beautiful? Coming back down and rest. Hands to knees, round the spine. And inhale, lift yourself back up. Inhale, take the right knee in towards your chest. Maybe a couple rotations with your ankle. Go ahead and you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable closing your eyes. Rotate in the opposite direction. And then flex the foot here. And if you happen to have a strap, really, really great. I would encourage you to take the strap around the ball of your foot, okay? Not your hands. I'm just pretending my arms are straps. So you're going to take the strap around the ball of your foot or the sole of your foot, okay? And just hold on to it. And then as slow as molasses, you're going to start to find what we call prana. As slow as molasses, your body's going to start to shake. Pull the belly up in it and start to push the strap down. And for those of us that don't have a strap today, if you have a belt or an imaginary strap, we're really slowly pushing down. You can use the sleeve of your sweater if you don't mind stretching it out, or something you want to stretch out, a towel. You're going to notice the right thigh is going to start to activate pretty intensely here. Keep the foot flexed. Pull the navel up and in. Don't lean back. And then right as your foot wants to touch the ground, go ahead and now as slow as molasses, as though you're pulling it up out of mud, pull your knee back up in towards your chest. Keep the foot active. Really concentrating through the lower abdominals here. So this is the root. This is the root of it all, right? So we really need to focus on stabilizing that foundation. You're going to start to fire up through that hip flexor. All right, lengthen up a little bit more. Pull the lower belly up and in. Engage the quad, engage the thigh muscles. Push down, find your smile. Allow all that energy to just release, y'all. So as you exhale, even if it's a vocal exhale, a vocal lam, breathe into the Bija mantra. It has no meaning. It's just sound. It's just vibration. It is the vibrational sound for the root chakra, right? So you should be feeling it probably now through that transverse abdominals, rectus abdominals, right towards the very, very bottom. And now go ahead and release your foot down. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side, but just take a moment to notice. Notice the difference between the legs, even if you want to extend the legs out in front. One might feel longer than the other, right? So go ahead and bring your knees back in. Walk it out, shake it out. I like to press the energy away from me. So it's like, goodbye, and just let it go. All right. Goodbye. And now we come back. All right. And we root to rise once more. Take the strap around the sole of your left foot now if you are using that. And let's go ahead and, again, come up very slowly as though you were coming up through quicksand, right? And you're pulling yourself all the way up, really taking your time, friends. Okay. Really lifting here. Beautiful. Flex the pull down, right? Make pretend strap I've got here. Exhaling deeply, draw the navel in. What is the intention? We're rooting into our strength, right? In order to build a house, right, we got to set that foundation right. We don't want cracks in the concrete. We don't want cracks in the foundation. We want a solid and stable foundation. And then once the foundation is stable, we can build anything we want on top, right? We can knock things down and make more spaces, more opportunities, or we can create other walls, right? So it's really conscious choices. And so we consciously choose to invite this energy in the foundation of our strength. And that's why we slow down to move forward. Sometimes we have to pause. So this is what this teaches us, is body control, breath control. patience, endurance, perseverance, the root of the foundations. Without those, how do we handle failures? How do we handle mistakes? How do we handle setbacks, right? All of those things are the character builders. They're your greatest teachers. Challenges become your greatest teachers. That's why we thrive. That's why we do what we do. And now the next time that your knee comes up, give it a moment to hang out, feel the energy rising, sit with it. Sit with it. There it is, y'all. Feel the shaking, feel the prana, life force energy moving through your body. Let it go through. Breathe deeper. Really conscious breathing. And there's no particular breath work today. It's just focusing on how you're breathing. Deep breaths, shallow breaths, sending breath to the belly area, contracting and expanding. Let it go, y'all. Let it go down to the earth. Don't drop it. Just slow. You did it. You did all the work. Let's go ahead and drop it together here slow. Let it go. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right? I love saying that. All right, back to center. Very good. Lengthen. Right knee in. Sole of the foot wraps with the strap, or you can support the base of your thigh, and let's take it out to the side. Good. From here, lower and lift. Very good. You really want to be very active in that left thigh. Lower and lift. And don't let the right arm be the work. Let your leg do the work. Again, lower abdominals, belly up and in, shoulders over the hips. Remember that every exhale, you're contracting the abdominals, okay? If you're using a strap, you can support your hand here with the strap. So hold the strap, and then that will help you to pull up. Good. And then engage through the lower belly. And exhale to release. Sweet. Inhale, pull yourself back up. Nice. Open and expanded, and then exhale, grounding. Very good. Very good. One more time. We lift up and bring the leg across the body and get a stretch. And you can cross the leg here, kick out through your foot here, toes towards your nose. Take the left hand to the right thigh, take the right hand to the right hip, and then start to look over the right shoulder behind you and breathe. And return back to center. Very nice. And let's help our leg back out in front of us. Release the foot down slowly. Again, letting all energy out, making any movements that you need to move. Very good. And let's come to the other side. I'm going to turn to my center space so that I have the space to go with you. So on our next breath, let's kindly draw that left knee up. Again, strap around the sole of the foot should you need it. And then let's bring the knee outside. Those of you with arms on your chair and you're using the arms of your chair to hang out, shame on you. So let's lift up. Okay, push down into the right thigh. All right. And then maybe just bringing it in and out just to kind of get some movement in there, connecting to breath. So we're getting started. We're saying hello, psoas muscle, hello, hip flexor, hello, bones, right? And then once you're there, let's go ahead and open ourselves up here. And then rooting down. So these are rooting into the earth. So again, rooting the tailbone down, rooting the toes down, spread the right toes into the ground. Okay. Lifting up here. You're going to be firing up the glutes. And here we go. Start to lower. maybe down towards your block if you have a block underneath the foot, and then lift it up. Even if you're lifting an inch, isometric movement in just an inch alone is so powerful. So it doesn't need to be very high and very low. Even just an inch off the ground or an inch off your hand and back down, you'll feel it. You'll feel the prana moving. You'll feel the power. So go ahead and play with gentle, tiny movements instead of bigger ones. And notice what the small adjustments can actually create big results, right? So let's do 2 more. I know it's firing up that root chakra, like really energetic. And let's pull everything back in across the leg, extend the leg if you like. Right hand to the left thigh, left hand to the upper portion of the thigh. And we begin the journey looking over the left shoulder, please. And just breathe. Nothing to do but breathe here, my friends. Maybe even laugh a little bit or smile. Yoga is a discovery. It's not a serious practice. I don't want you to take yourself serious. I mean, it's a serious practice, don't get me wrong. I take it very seriously. But I don't want you to take yourself so seriously. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to kind of back out of the pose, you can. If you want to point and flex your foot in the space, you can. If you kind of want to like wiggle around and move, you can. Okay? Give yourself permission to be free. Release from any identity. This is where we root into our higher self. We're rooting into who we are. Let's come back to center, my friends. Pull the leg in front of you, okay? And then let's release that down. And again, like I always like to do, so let's come up to standing. Well, two minutes. Bring your knees together and your feet out. Those of you that are going to stay down, this is a bioenergetic movement. So it goes right into the myofascial system and it's very warming, okay? What you're going to work on doing here is you're going to keep the knees towards each other. You notice how I just shifted my pelvic floor. Tailbone comes back. Shoulders come over the thighs. Crown forward, long spine. Already the body is tightening up and already energetic. From here, you're going to walk your feet back. You're going to pull up through your belly button and you're going to work towards the direction of standing and coming back. Standing and coming back. Moving slow and moving with your breath. So you're literally trying to pull yourself up and pull yourself back down without doing what I just did, lifting my toes up. So it's an energetic pull and then coming back down. And if you don't want to lift off the chair, just the act of coming up, squeezing the glutes towards the lower part where the flesh meets the tushy, and then coming back to center. Really active through Uddiyana and Mula Bandha, pulling everything up and coming forward, okay? Those of us coming to standing, same options are going to apply. You're going to bring your feet to the width of the mat and the knees in and bring your tailbone back. So it's kind of like this, like you're sitting in a chair. It's a very drawn inwardly type of a chair pose, okay, with wider feet. And then, and very energetically, as though you were squeezing a block between the thighs, you're going to lift up slightly and then you're going to lower yourself back down. You're going to hear all the creaks and cracks and pops, y'all. You can use the back of your chair for balance and support, okay, if you need to, and then lifting up and then lowering back down. And now, if for those of you that may not be feeling anything, yes, your knees can come over your toes. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to happen, okay? Then lift one heel off the ground and then bend and then energetically come up to standing. You want to keep the knees in towards each other as you pull up through the root chakra, pressing out towards the heel without letting the heel touch the ground. Engage every single muscle in the leg and then pull yourself back down. You're going to start to shake a lot in the leg if you're doing it right, okay? Really active, 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 and then pulling yourself back down, okay? And we're going to do that 3 more times. If you're doing one leg, I'm going to invite you to switch now to the other, lifting the other heel, okay? And then Holding yourself up. And then as we exhale, connecting to breath. My leg is shaking profusely. Okay. Squeezing every single muscle. Really energetic. Rooting means you're really releasing the more you're shaking. Okay. It's a beautiful self-discovery, the chakra system that we're going through now this year. Again. Nice. Everybody together, all to center. Knees in, not touching, almost touching. Squeeze everything up and in. Lift up just a moment. Exhale, lower. Very good. And then from here, coming back to neutral, come to your seat and shake all that energy out. Butterfly stretch. Butterfly stretch. Oh, I love my little duck friends. Very good. Very good. Breathe in. And breathe out. So we're coming into Warrior 2, darlings. Now for Warrior 2, many options apply here. If you happen to have a chair with no arms, then please take yourself so that your right leg comes out to the side and the chair comes under the left thigh, okay? And you're opening the hip and the chair is supporting the thigh, okay? Your arms are gonna come out to a T and you'll be in Warrior 2, all right? From here, we're gonna lift and lower. Now, if you do have an arm of your chair, or like I have a bench, this might impinge my right hip a little bit here, okay? It might feel a little pinchy, all right? So what I am going to modify is my right foot forward, okay? And out to the side, opening up my hip, so I'm walking it out as far as comfortable as I feel, all right? And the left foot, heel underneath the knee, okay? Modified shape, lift the shoulders over the hips, please. Draw the lower belly up and in, and you are in Warrior 2. Gaze over the left fingertips. We're gonna move in Warrior 2 here. So I really want you to zip up as though you are drawing your heel to your arch to heel. And we're gonna drop the right arm down and lift the left arm up. And then exhale, come back to Warrior 2. And if you're firing up everything, you're going to be feeling it in those thighs and in the quads. And then exhale back. And back to Warrior 2. Go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to do this a few more times. And now invite yourself to connect to your breath. Connect to your breath. You might decide to add maybe lifting the heel of the front foot when you go back and exhaling to press your foot back down. Okay. And I probably actually could demonstrate since I have this bench here. So my thigh, yep, I can place my foot down and place my right foot down. So if you have a bench, you can absolutely practice. So here we go. Nice. And again, if you're lifting the heel, lift the heel. All right, very good. Very good. Now we're going to hold this pose. So go ahead and sustain, stabilize yourself. If you have your heel lifted like I have mine, go ahead and keep it there. Squeeze that thigh muscle, press actively through the outer edge of your right foot. Very good. You might have to slide your leg underneath the arm of your chair if you want to turn your chair. Okay. Very good. And pull everything up and in, friends. Super. One more time. Let's sneak in here a little side angle stretch. So take the forearm to the thigh, reach the right arm up, keep the heel lifted if it's lifted. Roll the right shoulder back, open your chest. Strong back leg. I love it. Very nice. Beautiful adjustment. Very good. Come back up, Warrior 2. Nice. Extend. Now we'll come back to center, please. You're in a kind of a little goddess pose. And now we're going to shift to the other side. So now you're going to get a really good view of my foot here and extending that left leg long behind you. Heel arch alignment as best you can, or remember to extend the left foot forward enough so that it's comfortable without impinging anything in the hip flexor, groin area. You want to take the knee over your ankle in this space and then lift the heel if you chose to lift your heel, okay? We're going to start with our movements. So lengthen through the arms, okay? Ground here. Find your stability center. Find the roots, right? Root into that space, y'all. Root into it. Nice. Good. And now pull up, zip up through your tummy muscles. Very good. Gaze over the right fingertips. Very nice. Start your movements. Reach forward first and then come back. If you lifted your heel, lift your heel, reach back and forward. Take 5. Feel free to close your eyes. And when we get to the 5th round, we pause. Forearm to the thigh, keep the heel lifted, reach the left arm up. Remember, squeeze energetically through the thigh muscle, roll the shoulder back here. Gaze is soft, smile is often pressed on the lips. Saw how I snuck that in there so you can smile? And back up. Very nice, beautiful, smooth movements. Coming back to the center. And when you're ready, let's find our way back to neutral position. So if you got yourself straddled over a bench or between the chair arms, go ahead and bring yourself back to neutral position. Ground your feet. And we're coming into Tadasana. Let me move the meditation here. If you happen to have a block, this is a really sweet place to place a block between your thighs. And I'm going to actually use my jacket like I had rolled it up for earlier and place this jacket or place your block between your thighs. And then you're going to squeeze, energetically squeeze the block, squeeze here, toes forward, heels behind you. May feel a little unnatural for some. I understand, sometimes I like to stand with my toes out. So I need to bring my toes in and the heels right behind them, almost slightly out more. And now energetically fire up the thighs, hold the block, and then bring the hands down by your side. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And again, scoop that pelvic floor under a little bit, not too much. You still want the natural arch of your spine to be present, but you really want to get energetic in those thighs. And this is Tadasana. It's a really, really intense pose, really active thigh muscles, shoulders over your hips. Chest is open, the arms are soft but yet powerful. You might even feel the fingers, the energy out of the fingers. I'm even going to invite you to close your eyes. And notice the color red, if that's for you, the root chakra color. Keep the thighs energetic, firing up, pull the lower belly up and in, activating through the root. Tailbone pressing down into the chair or into your blanket on the chair. Relax the fingers, relax the shoulders, and start to roll your way into Shavasana. And this is a space where, if you would like, you can place the blocks underneath your feet. You can take your pillow or blankets behind your back so you can rest into your chair. You might even decide that you prefer to lay down on the ground and put your feet over the chair and kind of come into legs up the wall pose, which is really delicious for lower backs. And I would even suggest putting a blanket underneath your lower back or your tushy if you're in this pose, because OMG, that is delicious. So, a couple of fun things for you to do as you get ready for Shavasana. Mm. And we build on this coming year's root chakra energy. Alignment is our focus for the next 3 months. Aligning ourselves into abundance, aligning ourselves into creation, aligning ourselves with love, aligning ourselves with alignment. And so we want to focus today on the root chakra as you prepare. Bring your attention to the space between your brow for a moment. Notice what comes up here. And then please slingshot that energy all the way down to the area of excrement. And then visualize 6 inches below that. 12 inches below that. 22. And the earth. As you're in this meditation, I ask you this question. What is it you need to find balance, to find stability, and to find your courage? And allow your mind to wander on those foundational key principles. La, la, Take your time. Remain in the space of meditation as long as you wish. Otherwise, hello, my conscious being, and breathe into your body. Feel your fingers rooting down into the connection of the ground beneath you, the texture, the temperature. Draw your knees into your chest, touch the hands to your knees, notice the touch of skin, the sensation of your own body. Rock from side to side if that's for you. Adding gentle movement, a gentle hello, a gentle awakening into consciousness, into the realm of which we reside. And as you're ready, slowly and lazily, if you're on your back, press yourself up. And if you're in your chair, come back to center, hands to heart, palms touch, bow to yourself. We inhale for Om, we inhale for Lam. First Lam, then Om. Inhale Lam. And now inhale Om. Om Shanti 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 Om Namah Shivaya. The divine light that lives in me honors the divine light that lives in each of you. Ki Jai. Each of you respond. When I say Ki, you say Jai. Ki Jai. Namaste. My friends, I love you very much and I thank you. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.